is going on? It's Tom from Two Guys Talking Toys with another toy review. This time I'm taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Cross Thundercats crossover Lion-O. So this is the follow-up to the Ninja Turtles He-Man crossover, which, if you listen to the show, I loved that toy line. I am a huge crossover mark. I love them. If you can do something for fun, if you can make it work, even if you don't make it work, I just like seeing properties collide in interesting ways. And I loved that one. So when they announced that the Thundercats was going to be crossing over with He-Man next, I was super excited for it. There is already a comic that exists for it that came out a few years ago from DC. It's a whole He-Man mixing up with the Thundercats, and it's a really fun read. I recommend anyone pick it up if you can get a chance to do it. Seeing it in toy line form, this is not based directly on that comic. There is a mini comic that comes with this that explains exactly what's going on, but I wanted to pre-free Lion-O from his prison so we can get right into all the fun with him. As you can see, it's a little bit of a different approach from the Ninja Turtles He-Man crossover in that there's no mutagen involved this time around. It's really Thundercats kind of cosplaying in Eternian armor. He-Man and I assume the other Masters will just be wearing, I don't know, just probably some variant versions of the armor. We've only seen He-Man so far, so not quite sure where they're going with it. I'm very interested to see what they do with it, but let's get into this guy right away. He's already freed from his prison. The packaging for this is super cool. I always like seeing how they combine the two different properties into their advertising. The artwork for it is pretty cool. We get, kind of what you would expect: He-Man, Lion-O versus the Skelra combination that happened in the comics. So I was really glad to see that kind of come over as well. This line is interesting because I'm really, really curious to see where it goes and what they do with it. So right off the bat, we've got Lion-O done up in Eternian armor. It's using the, I guess, kind of new Origins design. I guess this will be moving forward. They're kind of looking into the 2000 series. So you'll notice a few differences with the overall sculpt. I believe most of the limbs are new, which is pretty neat. But it's Lion-O. He's wearing Eternian armor, a little bit different type of armor. The explanation for this is in the mini comic that comes with the figure. Just real quick, it's fast forward if you don't want spoilers, but it seems almost like a multiversal story where it's Skeletor calling upon the ancient spirits of evil. He gets more power. The Thundercats seem to be coming from, I want to say, almost an alternate reality. It does mention that they've already defeated Mum-Ra in their world, and they're leaving for New Thundera, and in the process lost Tigra, who have been taken captive or prisoner by the ancient spirits of evil. So they wind up on Eternia. They meet up with He-Man. Battle Catman is already there, which is an interesting story. I'm not quite sure why, but it's a mini comics. You're only getting, it's the loosest way to get everyone in one spot. So I'm just here to enjoy the ride and to see some neat stuff. Hoping to see some more neat stuff as more things get released. So if you're looking at the articulation on this guy, we'll just jump right into it. If you've owned an Origins figure, you know the drill. They've got the articulation in the head, the neck. They've got shoulder joints. They've got the elbows, swivel at the wrist, articulation in the waist. You've got it at the hips, the knees, and the ankle. So you get a pretty wide range of articulation. You can get him into some really cool, really nice dynamic posing. He works out so well. I think the sculpting on this, it kind of par for the course. It walks that line between high detail versus animation. It's not too much. I think that it comes just close enough to, you're not getting a high, like one of those maybe like high end. I shouldn't say high end, like late '90s McFarlane. You're not going to get that kind of overly detailed look, but they do a really good job. I really like the what I believe is kind of Eternian style armor. This looks reminiscent of the cat tower from the Eternia playset. So that's kind of cool. It would be interesting, and I'm a little surprised they didn't go with this. I guess maybe they thought it would be too self-indulgent to have the cat's lair head as part of the armor and kind of work that into the overall look, because that would be kind of cool, but maybe they thought that'd be a little bit too meta. But the detailing on the armor it's very well done. It does give Lion-O a unique new look. I like the headgear. It gives him something that, it makes him look a little bit different, makes him stand out. But I think the thing that we've all come here for, maybe not all of us, but I think a good cluster of us are here, are for the accessories that come with him. He comes with lower boots. He comes with his classic Thundercats belt. And of course, the classic hairstyle. Because at the end of the day, I think that a lot of people really just wanted an origin style Thundercats line. And kudos to Mattel. I don't know what kind of deal they worked out with. I don't know who the rights owners are for Thundercats. But it seems like Mattel said, we sure would like to do a Thundercats line. How can we do one while at the same time working on a new He-Man line? Let's just cross them over, and this way everyone's happy. So you get a crossover that's kind of fun. I'm always entertained by seeing different franchises cross over with one another. So, man, am I a happy collector right now, because it's happening a lot. There's been a lot going on lately. But also, if you wanted a Thundercats toy line and you didn't want to have to go and get the Super 7 offerings, which are also really good, then this is the line that you've been waiting for. You wanted something that kind of fits in with your Origin series, something that's more in the 6-inch scale instead of the 7-inch scale. This is made for you. Also made for me. So it's kind of fun putting this together. I like the way that this has been handled. I was wondering when they first started showing this off, how the swap the hair function was going to work out, because people kept seeing this and it's a little weird, and boy do I get it. But this pops right on, fits right in, looks pretty good. And you won't be needing that manacle. Oh, something to take note of that you might want to be careful with when really just with any action figure, when you've got these moving parts over what's clearly a painted bit. I noticed on mine, got a little bit of paint rub there, which is unfortunate. But it's Lion-O, and he is all over the place, and he is let's say I have a few. I've got a few Lion-Os. So at the end of the day, for me, a little bit of paint rub doesn't really mean anything, and I'll probably just cover this up with the gauntlet anyway. But for customizing purposes, that's fine, because I've got multiples. If you're not someone that tends to get multiple figures, may not matter. It might be a different story for you, but I tend to get multiples, so when I find a little imperfection like that, it's not the end of the world for me. And there we've got your classic Lion-O, who looks great. They did a really good job. I love that you can. He hits all the right notes. He's exactly what I would imagine a Lion-O in this line, in the Origins scale, with the Origins articulation to look like. I couldn't ask for anything better than this. And I didn't notice this at first. I love that the sword, if you just spin it, goes from the Eye of Thundera to full-on Call of Thundercats for help. That's a really neat little note there. I It's probably explained on the back of the package somewhere. I don't know what this does. I don't know what the point of that is. What goes there? Who goes there? Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything on the packaging. Maybe I need to watch a review of myself to see what's supposed to hang on that. I don't know. Not that important. Not important to me. Because I am enjoying this figure overall. And this opens up the door for so many other things, like just this basic Lion-O. Right off the bat, I'm thinking the evil Lion-O. All you need is a red chest piece, and you've got the evil version that Mumra created. But this turned out really well. I'm really looking forward to see what they have planned for the rest of this line. And again, this kind of just hits all the right notes. It's well sculpted. I love that it fits in with the Origins line. It looks like Lion-O, and you can't ask for much more than that. I am excited to see where they go from here. I think if you're looking for, a Thundercats line that fits in with your Origins, with some of the more 6-inch scale figures, you can't get much better than this. So for comparison's sake, let's get Lion-O hanging out with a standard Marvel Legends Ant-Man. If I could ever get him to stand properly. He's in awe of Lion-O, as we all are. And we'll get Lion-O hanging out next to Snakeface. So they've got that average scale going on. This looks great. And then, of course, next to a Masterverse Cobra Khan, who is an appropriate size larger. I like this a lot. So at the end of the day, I think that this is a really good first foray into the Thundercats crossing over with the Masters of the Universe line. Lion-O is a solid figure. The detailing is great. The accessories are really neat. I like that you have the option of maybe swapping out some of the armor, mixing and matching. But if you're looking for just a classic Lion-O in classic Lion-O colors and in Origin style, this is the line for you. I'm curious to see how many people prefer to display these with the Eternian armor versus people that just want a Thundercats line, because I feel like both camps will be pretty happy with these. So looking forward to seeing what else Mattel comes up with, and yeah, go get yourself a Lion-O.